was working on Ignis Caverna. There we go. So I want to finish up Hockey Punky with the vampire to get a little more experience in this. So let's see what experience we have so far. Cone of Flames, excellent. And actually, kind of makes me wish I had bought that other vest for him. But you know, there's a decent chance that I'll find one and we'll be good to go anyways. And now that's eliminated. Drain life. Summon out those extra nuts. That's not going to do anything for me. I think I've just lost this run. Can I restart? Nope. I don't know what to do. That is interesting. Huh. I'll take Enthrall. Keep the old. And that's it. Nothing I can do. Okay. Give this yet another shot. I hate taking that extra damage early, but I should still be good to go. So let's get some Drain Life underway here. I hated walking into that, but I pretty much ran out of time. And this is not going great to start. I guess I'll take that. Not even really using it that much, but... String of life. No, that's nowhere near enough. I think I'm pretty much done right here. Unless... but if I go south, then I'm going to hit the slime and him and get drained. So if I wait a turn... Nope, that was it anyways. Whew! I need to get back in the swing with this. The vampire's just not quite so easy to start off with here. Level up, drain life. There we go. So, once again, like last night, I ended up going onto Grinder and checking out a couple of guys. They are being quiet as usual. But, no big deal. plenty of time in the night. Mostly looking for some submissive guys tonight. Non-bears, really, but nuts. I was afraid that was going to happen, but there wasn't really a good way to avoid it. Had a guy earlier who was quite the jerk. He sent me. Oh, I'm gonna take the new one, even though it's less of a chance because with the cone, if I'm getting a 50% bonus, that means this goes from 4 to 6 to 6 to 8. So I'm definitely taking that, and then we'll level up here. I will. You know what? I'm gonna take the vanishing into bats. I just need to be able to get away from situations sometimes. Perfect. Cash. So anyways, he's another one of those guys on Scruff. You know the kind where they're about 100 miles away from you, and then they hit you up, and obviously all they're going to do is ask for picks. There's no way that it's really going to lead anywhere. And, you know, you always check to make sure they're not going to be, like, vacationing in your city or something like that, because that changes everything, of course. But in this particular case, he was definitely not vacationing here, so he asked for all these picks, and I said, well, you know, what are you going to give me if I end up giving you the picks? And he's like, well, I'll exchange pick for pick. And I was like, okay. So it was predictably a struggle, as I knew it would be, to get him to send those picks. Like that and like that. Perfect. And then, of course, at the end, he ends up blocking me, which is kind of hilarious because you go through all that effort to get those picks, and then in the end, as soon as you block me, you clear the conversation for yourself, so you can't even look at them, so you've literally wasted all of your time and mine. Oh, man. Cash. Alright, I took that. I'm good to go. This is going a little bit better, and actually, gotta say, I'm pretty happy to have this scroll of teleportation. I was not expecting that to make me visible. Okay. 2 for 1, that's fine by me. So now, okay, so only 2 up and over. There we go. I remember another guy that I had met on Manhunt at one point, and I had to go to work, and he ended up. He said, well, you know, I'd really like to chat with you. I'm not normally on at the times that you're off work because I use that time to you know, unwind, get a drink and all that. And so I said, well, you know, I guess I wouldn't mind using... Ooh. That's what I get for talking and not paying attention. Sorry about that. Here we go again. Well, 3 this time is a lot better. Set that off. Kill that. I gotta get over there to that slime. Level up. Dream life. I was kinda hoping that that was going to... Extra hit points so early. Vanish bats. Anyways, so he ends up you know, asking for my number. I agreed to send him a few texts during work. He worked in retail, so he had all the time in the world during the day, as, you know, during a typical work week, there's not an awful lot of people in the store anyways. So he gets my number, and it was the biggest mistake I could have possibly made. He ends up messaging me about 240 times between Tuesday morning and Wednesday night. Like, my phone was blowing up during the entire work period, and everyone was like glaring at me because I even I had it on vibrate and they were still glaring at me because, yeah. And of course, at first I was like, well, I'll just not respond. He'll know I'm busy. Everything will be fine. Oh no, 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 no. He sends me 5 additional messages at the same time, all going like, oh my god, did you die? Because I didn't respond to him for 5 minutes. And I'm like, I'm in the middle of a pricing. I do not have time to talk to you. And he's and then he just like, as soon as I responded, he ignores the fact that I said I had no time left to talk, and just goes off yammering about whatever. And then when I got home, after all those text messages, he wanted to talk on the phone for 3 hours. And I was like, I've been talking to you all day. I've really run out of things to talk about. I have other things that I really want to do with my evening. And of course, he didn't understand that either. And he's like, well, that's just not going to work for me. And I'm like, the requirements that you have for communication are way too vast. And I would be like absolutely horrified if I had to be in a relationship with you and communicate this much. I would be exhausted. I mean, I'm an introvert, so you know, this experience of casting is actually really kind of nice for the moment because my Twitch chat is empty, which is fine. But I get to just be by myself and sort of talk out loud and relax. And this is all the gaming that I'd be doing on my off time anyways, so I want to dream life, up, hit. Oh well, that was not quite what I had intended. Nor was that. Perfect. Now, I don't think I can kill them when I hit that. Back it up, hit again. If there's anybody out there who's watching, I keep having the same problem where every time I try to start a stream, the Twitter stream ends up disconnecting from my Twitch keeps disconnecting from my Twitter, and I have no idea why. I assume it's some sort of security protocol, but I didn't change any settings, and the very first time I did this, I had no problems whatsoever. It's very frustrating because I would love to have a direct link and, you know, have it tell people that the stream is going on at this second and everything. It's very convenient, and it's frustrating to have to manage it. I mean, this time I anticipated that it might happen, so twitter.com/abusiveyoda is my Twitter handle. Anyways, I made sure to include, there we go. I made sure to include, you know, the link to my profile so people would be able to find that. But it does not seem to have been good enough. And then like so. Much better. Easier to manage. Seriously. There. Ah, Scroll of Pottery. That will help for enemy hordes. Got it. So anyways, if anyone knows exactly what that is and what I'm doing wrong, please let me know, because I also have to be honest, I had used Twitter in the past, and I never really got what was so exciting about it, because I wasn't really getting people to interact with me, and so it was really kind of boring just to sort of be throwing stuff out into the ether and not get any sort of feedback, as you can imagine. And so that's interesting. Anyways, I since I had used it and I wasn't getting any interest, this time when I decided to set one up, because I saw so many different streamers using it to let people know that they would be streaming, and considering the fact that I'm, you know, doing this on an irregular schedule, I thought it was really important to be able to let people know, you know, that I was going to be free this particular evening and blogging, or sorry, streaming. And as a result, I now have this hassle. This is such a strange run. And can I... Yep. Perfect. I think it's going a little better than last time, though. Or the last 2 times, I should say. Do, do, do. Okay. So anyways, right. So I told him no thanks. I made sure to block his number in case, you know, he decided to keep sending me texts and whatnot. And it ended up costing me about $200 in additional fees because, of course, I had not thought to set a limit to my texts. And, or sorry, I had not thought to set my text to unlimited because I just wasn't texting anyone that frequently. After I chatted with him, though, I found out that it would literally be cheaper to prepare myself in the off chance that someone would do that than it was to just pay that bill outright. So I have myself covered, I believe. Step back. Perfect. Pro MLG strats right there. You gotta be kidding me. I hate these things so much. So we'll just eliminate them now and be done with it. Really should just get the Potter's vest with this guy. Oh well, anyways. Speaking of, since I seems to be on the subject of just interesting guys that I've dated or been with or whatever, I remember at one point when I was in college, and it was the first time where there were gay men in my area that I could actually be around and sort of connect with, and I was really excited by it, you know, as I think everyone is when they, you know, first start finding interested parties. There and there. Anyways, so this guy starts chatting with me, and I believe, yeah, I remember him now. I went to a makeup store because at the time I was trying to find some makeup for a particular costume that I was going to be doing for Halloween. I was going as someone who had drowned, and I wanted to try to see if I could find something to sort of simulate the effect. I figured for Halloween it was going to be fairly cold outside, and I was going to be wearing something that was wet anyways. So I wanted to make sure that... hold on a second, this is tricky. There we go. I was going to be wearing something that was wet anyways, and I wanted to try to make sure that if the environment itself was not helping me simulate the fact that I'm freezing cold, that the makeup did. So stopped in the store, he hit on me, and I put my number on the receipt and handed it back to him, and so we ended up going out, and I was really thrilled about that. It was, I think, the first time that I'd ever really been hit on by a guy. Always exciting. And so, got that. Dazzles enemies for 4 turns. For Vampire Ignis, I could get Enthrall, but he's just going to be draining life, and the other creatures down there just drain life. I think Dazzle's probably going to be the way to go, because if I can prevent him from attacking, I can probably do really serious damage with this dagger. And I'm good to go, so let's go face him and see how this works out. And I'm also going to make sure... Oh, this isn't Vampire Ignis, that's the other level. This is the spider. Keep the old. And I will cash that out. So the spider is down... Ugh, these things. And eliminate those. Okay, good. So I'm going to try this. Did not work as intended. Ah, he does not stay dazed. I wonder if turning him into pottery will win that for me. I don't know. Anyways, sorry. Back to the story at hand. So I hit on him. He comes to visit me while I'm at college. He was still doing the retail job, so he came after work at one point. We were going to get dinner at the college cafeteria, and he had made a friend, somebody else that he was just talking to while he was waiting for me to get out of class, someone who was into Wicca. And it turned out he was into Wicca as well, and at the time I didn't really know an awful lot about it or anyone who was really into it. And so I just said, yeah, sure, whatever, I'm open to new experiences, that's cool. You know, it's alternate religions, and I've heard from plenty of people that that sort of thing is, you know, really accepting of homosexuality, so I'm down for that. So we're going to the calf, and we get to this bridge that we have to go. It just crosses really shallow stream, but we're about to cross it, and all of a sudden the girl that's decided she's going to come with us and eat drops to her knees and holds up her arms dramatically, and she shouts, "I'm under attack by a demon sorcerer." And I went, "Wait, what?" And then the guy that I was with goes, "Oh no, I will protect you." And I was like, "Wait, seriously?" And so they end up, he ends up holding his hands and, you know, saying some magical gibberish and then, you know, waving his hands outward. And he says, "I cast a fireball, the demon has been destroyed." And I was like, what is going on? And they're like, "Oh, someone sent an evil demon against me. It happens periodically." And I was like, aha, periodically, huh? She's like, "Yep, perfectly normal." Perfectly normal. Now, if I remember correctly, I did end up getting him all the stuff that I wanted for him. What does this do? That could be handy. This is probably more along the lines of what I would really like, but I want to make sure that I have good armor for everybody. So, do I have Mail of the Master Potter? Well, it's not in the list. So let me just check the storage for him. Yeah, Mail of the Master Potter, perfect. So then the only other thing that I might want... So I want to go overboard and get... Well, shop and weapons. I can either get the Sword of Dancing Flames or the Brand of the Wisp King. The 2 extra hit points whenever an enemy dies is pretty useful, especially with spiders, because they just spawn endlessly and you can really fill yourself back up. But the Gigantic Swirl of Flame, as you saw, is insanely useful. I'm going to be going up against Vampire Ignis, so I kind of want more health, but there's nothing I can do once the battle starts. I think what I'm mostly just going to do is throw up my defense, and then it should do Armor of Thorns back to him and deal some damage back. Anyways, obviously I did not end up dating that individual for all that much longer. He was just a little too much for me, which is unfortunate because I've met many lovely and reasonable Wiccans afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to go for Sword of Dancing Flames. I'm not doing that Cone of Flames, and we're good to go. Alright. Frost spiders, interesting. Definitely taking Cleave. Very important for all the mobs, like so. Of course, if I'm not careful, I'm going to kill off my own spiders with these gigantic swirls of flame. Not that that would be the end of the world or anything, but they're doing some pretty decent work for me right now. Shield Ball is really important. I think it's probably the most important skill for this character. And I wanted to do it with this character in particular first, so I could get a sense of how it's going to go at melee range trying to fight this particular boss. And I think that I have, unfortunately, created extra work for myself in the form of gray slimes. Yeah, I'm about to be in some pretty serious trouble here. Oh, God. Um... Nothing I can do about that. Summon them up early this time. Oh, God, these poison spiders. They're gonna get themselves completely killed. Yep. Anyways. What other interesting little stories do I have about men? I do remember at one point in time, I am always a little bit of a wild guy when it comes to there and there. Bit of a wild guy when it comes to men and sort of teasing them. It's one of my favorite pastimes. And I had this one guy that I was seeing in college, and he wanted to go to the mall, and I didn't have a car, so the only way for us to get there was to take a local, uh, bus company that takes you over there. And we were the only people that were on it. It was, Sunday afternoon, and we were going over to the mall. And we got onto it. Actually, that worked out kind of in my favor. We got onto it. There was no one there. We were sat in the back. The bus driver wasn't paying attention. He was just driving and chatting on his cell phone. And like that. Two, three, there. That was close. Anyways, he's just chatting. So I reached over and I grabbed my boyfriend's crotch, and he was kind of fighting it, and I was like, look, the bus driver's not paying attention, nobody's getting on this thing, and we're pretty much on this long stretch where we're just going to be going to the mall, and that's it. Like, we're not going to get any other, there's not going to be any other riders for at least 10 minutes. So I start giving him a hand job, and he's really, really nervous about it, but he's really enjoying the hand job, and he's also getting a little thrill from the fact that we are riding on this public bus. And so I took my jacket off and I sort of threw it over both of our laps so that he could at least feel a little bit safe in the fact that it was obscured. So he's really getting into it. I am a reaction junkie, so I'm looking him right in the face as he's doing this and just really enjoying what I'm getting from him. And the bus stops at a stop just before the actual mall, at a mini mall. I am going to cache that. And that. So we stop at this point before the actual mall, and someone gets onto the bus, and we don't notice actually, and we're both sitting there, and he's moaning lightly, and I guess he was getting close or something, and I am just teasing him, and all of a sudden, someone sits directly in front of us and plops down in the seat. And no, I did not intend to do that. However, okay. Works for me. And so when he sits down in front of us, we both completely panic because we presume that he knows what's going on. We didn't know that he was there or how long he had been paying attention. So my boyfriend is convinced, of course, that he knows that he's getting a hand job, and we're going to get reported to the police, and he's going to have a rap sheet, and he's going through all this. He isn't actually saying it, but I can see it all over his face. He's just losing his mind. So upgrade that fully. Hold on. I figured that was going to happen, but I kind of wanted it to be honest. Go like that, and that. So then I look up, and the person who is talking to us, a very friendly guy, is blind. He has a cane. You can actually, he has his eyes open, and you can tell from his eyes that he can't see a dang thing. So just to prove it, I very quietly, I'm trying to gesture to my boyfriend. I don't want to be rude to the guy and point out that he's blind, or have to explain why that would matter. And so I just wave my hand in front of his face and he doesn't react, and we're just chatting normally about, I don't even remember the weather or sports or something. I don't even know anything about sports, but if it kept him from realizing I was giving my boyfriend a hand job in front of him. So my boyfriend sort of calms down, and so he calms down, and then I reach over and I start to try to do it again, and then he slaps me across the face so hard. And gives me this dirty, dirty, dirty look. And the blind guy goes, "What was that?" And I said, "Oh, my boyfriend slapped me because I touched his butt." Uh, and he just laughed. Thought it was hilarious. There we go. Perfect. And there. So I have not cleared out this level, just a little more. And I got a long talking to about how that could never happen again, and how I was awful for doing that to him in the first place. And the funny part is that immediately after he went through that whole spiel about how awful it was that I had done that to him, and a purple frog. I have never seen that before. Doesn't seem to be anything special. Anyways, going on about how could I do that to him and all this and that. We immediately ended up having sex afterwards. So I don't think that he did a very good job of convincing me that my actions were undesirable. Frankly, this is rough. I think what I'm gonna do is and then perfect. Cash. I don't want to have to fight them at this point. So anyways, so I ended up getting slapped for that. And then, yeah, he just never let me take the opportunity to do that again. I thought it was funny. So clearing this out. I don't think, I mean, the one weapon we found that was a new design, I guess, was probably one of the only ones that I hadn't collected for this character. It's a pretty rare one, too. I've only seen it, I think that's only the second one I've ever collected. So no sense in really searching for new designs. I just wanted to see if I could get any extra cash. Excellent. So that's another one underway. So the defensive blocking of all of that damage ended up being really big, especially because I feel like he dealt like maybe 7 damage, or he either dealt 7 damage or the life drain was negated. Oh, excuse me just one second. There we go. So anyways, right, I beat it with this and that. It is 921. I think what I want to do is... I'll play for... Okay, I know what to do now. I think I will go through with this, because if I can use Vanish, it should be the next thing that should be pretty easy. He can restore his hit points to full, but it ends up using almost all of his stars, and I'm not quite sure. I also kind of feel like Pumpkin Bombs, laying them out, drawing him into them, and just kiting him out through the whole thing might also be a very effective way of dealing with him, assuming that I end up with a decent amount of health prior to going down there. So, let's see what the equipment looks like. Vampiric Pitchfork. Ah, it's not so bad. I'm going to go with the Jewel, since I don't have anything fire-based for him. Scroll of Summoning is fine. I think also starting off with these additional 20 hit points, like 60 hit points at level 1 is pretty serious. So I'm definitely digging that. Okay. We will start with... So Pumpkin Bomb is 2, huh? And then Cornucopia is 3, and I only have 5. So I could place, if I set this up and I have 3 and I place them in front of me, I could place 3 pumpkin bombs and then 3 pumpkin bombs. I can do that, so I can place a total of 6 pumpkin bombs for him to walk across. And if they each do 4 to 6 damage, as almost every other flame weapon does, yeah, that should be pretty good. I'm gonna let these guys go ahead of me. There we go. At this point in my life, unfortunately, oh no. That is maddening. I might as well just take my licks and call it. Oh my gosh, I actually killed them. That is amazing. Okay, well that explains how you do it. Okay. Anyways, at this point in my life, unfortunately, DC does not give an awful lot of love to bears for the most part. Or let me be a little more specific. The demographic that I'm looking for, which is non-bears, does not give me a hell of an awful lot of love. It's unfortunate to be attracted to your opposite in this particular case, because it's a lot easier if you're skinny to be attracted to a heavier guy than it is the other way around, or at least it seems that way to me. I wouldn't know, I've never been skinny. There we go. What I should do... Oh, I can only put it... Oops. Wrong skill. There we go. Problem almost solved. There we go. A little bit of a waste, but I can easily recoup that. I'm going to take just 1 point of that so that if I get myself into any tight situations, I can just force everyone to run away and try to recoup and come up with something better. Kind of works out in my favor. It also doesn't end up helping because in addition to being a bear, I'm also a gamer. I don't know if any of you have just tried dating generally as a gamer. Unless you can find other gamers to date as well, it is a tricky beast. This is still working out for me pretty well, actually. I'm not quite sure that I need the Wisp's pitchfork, but I'm making damn good use of it, and I'm also staying well above anything else that I might have to worry about. So I'm going to take my cornucopia, take out the wisp, still end up at full life afterwards too. There. So, yep, single now, looking for additional men to spend my time with. Also get up to a bit of BDSM, so you add that to the gaming, and each time I discover an interest, it just seems to narrow my circle of potential people further and further. So I'm trying to be real flexible about what exactly I end up going for, and I've got a new man of interest. That is potentially not good. This particular person anyways. So, anyways, back to the game. I want that. Man, it didn't kill that mushroom. I was kind of hoping it would. Kill that, and there. I'm actually really curious if anyone cares to post in chat. Have you guys ever heard of anyone meeting their would-be mate on Twitch itself? Because it seems like there's plenty of attractive guys doing their streaming, and you know, whether you're gay or straight, there should be an audience for you. Haste potion. And I would actually be real curious. I mean, I've certainly heard of people, meeting off of like World of Warcraft and things like that. Um, and I'm just curious if Twitch brings people together in that way as well. So if I hit him, go through there. 1, 2, kill him. There. Yeah, I probably could have killed that mushroom in the initial blast for the pumpkins. But I really wanted to make sure that I took the wisp down a little bit. There we go. Do, 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 do. Nuts. Oh, Jesus. There we go. Huh, hadn't realized there was a lily pad under that. Or a wisp pad, as the case may be. So, moving up here. Okay, I think I should be... Yeah, this is not the boss's level just yet. I am definitely going to. Perfect. That ended up working out really well, and I still have all my stamina back. I am actually really glad that stamina recovery is as high as it is, otherwise this game would not be anywhere near as easy as it is. I think this is set to normal difficulty as it currently stands. Okay. Level up. Additional bombs. Take him down. Oh, one of the other things that I wanted to mention, since I've been tweeting periodically back and forth with Brian, one of the guys that programmed this game, one of the things that he had suggested was I check out one of the first games that he had programmed, a game called Caves of Quud. And I've actually found the game to be pretty enjoyable. If you've ever been a fan of NetHack, then it's definitely a game that you should check out because it's a very similar style. If you do Dwarf Fortress, again, it's a very similar style. It uses an ASCII key set to represent the world around you, and he actually got some really nice like color dynamics. So, for example, he had that is so bad. Oh, this is going to be rough. This could easily be the end of me if I'm not careful. Okay. Ugh. So aggravating. Okay, I think I'm finally through it. Woof! I'm going to use that. Nuts, I missed him. Oh well. Anyways, with Caves of Quud, it looked a bit intimidating the first time that I looked at it because I was not certain what the controls were. And just because NetHack was pretty much my frame of reference for that style of roguelike, I tried using the commands for that, and they weren't quite the same. Fortunately, I ended up hitting the F1 key in an attempt to find help, and found that he had actually put the entire game manual into the game. So it was a lot easier for me to sort of pick up, especially because he put the most important thing that I've never seen in any other such game with an ASCII key set, which was the 10 things that you should know the first time that you play. Uh, that was absolutely what I needed to see, and what I was looking for. Anyways, I had actually tried to Google it, and I hadn't found anything. And I was a little, or I had found something, but it wasn't quite the information I was looking for. I was looking for the most basic: how do you move around? What are the combat controls? How do you change controls if you can? What are they? Um, and so, and so I ended up on Reddit and like a suggestion for how to start out and how to get through the various game stages and be prepared. Okay, let me focus for a second on this boss. So I need to get my butt over here. Am I going to be able to just make it in a pure beat? Oh, I have a health potion. Yeah, absolutely. Not so dramatic, but still. Now, for this character, I don't believe that I have all of the... Whoops. Okay. All of the different equipment unlocked for him, so I'm going to try to do a quick check around for any additional chests. I don't care. I don't really need this. Ugh. I'm just doing this for the money. Anyways, now that the boss is out of the way, so with Caves of Quud, so it ended up being exactly what I needed, and it was actually kind of funny, just that I ended up Google searching, couldn't find a damn thing, and it was right there in the game all along, and all I had to do was literally just wait a second for it, and it was at my fingertips. So, got a reply from this guy. Had it custom made. Head through the door. Perfect timing. Actually, that's a good question. So I started at 8:45. Okay, so that's been 45 minutes. Perfect. So I'm going to set this aside for a little bit now because Dungeons of the Endless ends up taking up a fair bit of time as well. I'm going to be eager to go through and probably finish out with the Thief and the Vampire. And this way, if I space my time out, I'll be able to play some FTL as well. And then once we get those two out of the way, we should definitely have time to go through NC and just play as the Archer and win because Archers are god. Anything interesting? 4,000 gold. So I should take the opportunity. I think I have the best weapon available for everyone, so I'm going to buy this Alchemist Vial and the key. Blinking Cloak, Cloak of the Potter, the Mongoose God. All those are taken care of, and I'm not so concerned about those two. So the only other things worth buying are just a variety of scrolls, which I will get for completion's sake. That's fine. Oh, difficulty is normal. I think you can only get hard once you beat the game, in all likelihood. Right, so now, quit to desktop.